world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Big Dog Country Radio. Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Going well?
Nice day yesterday. It's going to be a nice day today. So
But not tomorrow.
I like the temperatures up there. Cold
Today,
this morning. It got cold.
It was like 34, 35 degrees out there this morning. Some people had less. Some people had a little more. But we are getting up to 72 today. So it's going to feel real nice today. But then that's going to change tomorrow as we got a front coming through. But it's going to come through quickly. And usually when they come through quickly, we have, windy, gusty winds and 80% chance of showers tomorrow. With a high tomorrow of around 73, but it will move out quickly, and by tomorrow night we'll be to a 30% chance, and then lots of sunshine on Saturday and Sunday, but cool. Saturday high of 68, Sunday sunny with a high of 62. But back in the 70s next week, Bob. Going to be spring 70 weather next week. But tomorrow got that front coming through, so batten down the hatches. But today, pretty. Around 72 for high today with sunny skies. That means the skeeters and gnats and everything else has come out today.
Groundhog said we see an early spring, so maybe was right.
Yeah, we really don't have much of a winter down here in South Georgia.
I'm not a cold weather person, so I said I like the warm weather.
I've got a relative living up in Alaska. You can have temperatures around 0 degrees. If you have a high of 15 during the day, that's a warm day this time of year. You get like 4 hours of sunshine. A little different from here in South Georgia. But I didn't know that the basketball game that happened the other night at Wayne County High School had made national media. I mean, I really hadn't kept up with it.
It's everywhere. And it hit the front page of the AJC.
It did?
Front page? Front page.
Sports page or front page?
Front page.
Front page.
Got all kinds of calls from my niece, my sister, the state representatives from Atlanta called, Attorney General. What's going on down there? It's all over the place.
People lost their temper. What happened?
Yahoo Sports has it.
Yahoo Sports?
I kept watching ESPN to see if they had it.
ESPN never had it?
They hadn't
Didn't make it big enough for ESPN, huh?
But USA Today's got it. Yahoo, it's everywhere.
Wow.
It's just said history. First time in 102-year history of the HSA that both teams were disqualified.
So first time in the High School Association, 102 years that two teams have been disqualified in a sporting event.
Yeah. Talked to Steve Figueroa yesterday. He talked about like I said, those punishments do.
But they do go over the next year.
They
you found out.
Right. They do, and if a kid, say a girl basketball player, goes to a spring sport, she'd have to sit out those first 2 games of the spring sport. It would take effect immediately. Can
you just get those girls and sign them up for different spring sport teams and say they missed 2 games, so they won't have to miss the first 2 games next year?
I guess. I don't know. But Robin Hines isn't happy, so it's going to be interesting to see what the fallout is.
Yeah, it is going to be first time, and who would have thought that? I mean, you would have thought that would have been something that happens, on a semi, not all the time, but ever so often, where you got 2 teams that are going at it. Usually it starts with the 2 players that have the confrontation, and then it just in many situations it snowballs from that, and that's what happened the other night, but. In this one, some of the fans actually got involved, and a lot of times you don't see that. But I haven't seen the video, and I'm going to go online today and take a look at it because it is the talk of everywhere.
Yeah, it's the talk everywhere. That's for sure. It's just everybody's talking about it. So it's just not a good situation. So just sad, unfortunate that it happened.
Yeah, it is very sad. Unfortunate.
Both teams got kicked out. So.
But the good news about it is no one got seriously injured. I mean, you have that many fist throwing and elbows and knees. You figure somebody might have had serious enough injuries to have to be taken to the hospital, have to go to the hospital. But it's amazing you have that much fighting and no one gets seriously injured.
Another interesting note is that found out yesterday that during this basketball season, Spalding and Griffin play each other twice. Fans were banned from both those ball games because of incidents that have supposedly happened up there in the past.
So is Spalding the common denominator in all this?
I don't know. the fact that their football coach got arrested for murder doesn't help either. So,
I know. And here it is, wherever they play. Some places, the fans are, so you can't come in.
Wayne County fans know about Griffin, how dangerous that was. Like I said, when we went there for football, everybody got robbed. So.
Yeah, that's right. When that football game against robbed in the state playoff action in the Final Four.
They broke in all those vehicles and stole. And like I said, they sent Lick Skinley's. They found his computer 9 months later and sent it back to him. Everybody.
Someone found his computer 9 months later?
I believe that's what I recall.
One of us still working.
Yeah, they broke in his vehicle.
Was it Al's pawn shop or something up there in Griffin or something?
I don't know. I just remember hearing that story that 9 months later, somebody called and said, "Hey, we found your computer." So I sent it back.
Absolutely amazing.
But most people got robbed and their vehicle damaged up there. That was a bad night up there.
Yeah, that is a bad night. I had a relative one time that went many years ago. I think this was back in the 70s, maybe 80s, went to underground Atlanta. I think it was 70s, late 70s, and gets back to his vehicle there, and the people had broken in. They'd stolen the car radio, everything.
And I told you, I relayed that story about the base. I saw Larry Cooper yesterday at the golf course, and I said he saved my life up there in Jones County that day. He was the high school principal when that fight broke out. That's probably one of the worst I've been around.
Was that mid-90s? Because somebody was asking me about that the other day. They brought that up.
I can't remember what year it was.
Someone said it was 95.
We've had several incidents because I saw Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones talked about it when his son hit a home run. They got mad, and there was a brawl that game too. So we've had several incidents with Jones County baseball in the past. But
yeah, Jones County.
I just remember, like I said, I can visualize that Rico hitting that home run and dancing down the first base line and got to second base, and our shortstop just knocked the living daylights out of him. And next thing I know, and fans were running on the field there too. And Larry Cooper came because I hit a table, and he said, "Come on, we got to go." And he just got me out of there.
Just got you out of here, huh?
Saved my life. But they were throwing rocks and bottles at the bus, and I mean, it was.
Wow, Lord!
It was just an ugly scene up there that year. I just can't remember the year.
That's what I said the last couple of days. Anger can cause temporary insanity, doing things you don't want them to do.
And I think most people remember when we went to Appleton County when Dexter Carter ran up and down the field. There was but that was just a fight between players. The fans didn't get involved in that one. So there's a game in Statesboro where there's a bad fight on the field, and one kid got arrested and couldn't even come home. They put him in jail in Statesboro. They had to go back and get him the next couple of days, and they had a court hearing and everything else. So there's been incidents in the past, but it's just, like I said, as Robin Hines says, there's just no place for this in high school athletics. So I'm sure the punishment's going to be severe, and it'd be interesting how quickly they come down. But they've got the video, and I'm sure they're dissecting the video.
To dissect everything and decide what to do.
I said, looking at the video, like I said, you asked me, just talking to Kaylee, she said it was a very physical game, and like I said, it was a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of talking, going back and forth. The referees were letting it be very physical, and then all of a sudden a punch was thrown, and then it all starts.
Then chaos.
And then chaos begins. But like I mentioned yesterday, I still think we're fortunate that it happened on a Tuesday afternoon, and Spalding didn't bring a lot of people. They may have 7 or 8 fans at the most there. If they would have been a packed gym and it would have been half-half, I mean, there's no telling what would have transpired. So I think they're fortunate in that regard. But it's just unfortunate that both teams get kicked out. Stars Mill's the one laughing all the way. I mean, they get an easy ride to the Elite Eight.
They don't have to play us or Spalding. Right. They just get on the next round.
Right. But it's the talk of, it's everywhere.
It's the talk of the nation.
Yeah.
From what you're saying.
It's everywhere. I mean,
jeez.
It's been picked up by just about every publication.
I had no idea. Yeah. No idea at all. Well, I tried to get on my phone this morning, and I got on there to take a look at something. Let me see if it's still there. And, yep, still not connected. So my phone wasn't working this morning. I couldn't do anything with it. Couldn't text, couldn't call, couldn't get on the internet, couldn't do nothing with it. So I figured, well, what in the world's happened here? So I called my son, Matt, who takes care of all this kind of stuff here at the station, and I checked with him, and he said he didn't know why, and he tried to double check some things there and made sure the bill was paid and that kind of stuff, and we're fine there. It already has been. And then after I got off the phone with him this morning about 6 o'clock, called him from our landline here at the radio station. And when I got off the phone with him, I listened to Fox News. And Fox News said, well, there's folks all over the country this morning waking up to no cell phone service, that many areas of the country, cell service is down, especially AT&T, which we have, you and me have. And so that's the reason why our phones are not working this morning, is AT&T's having some problems there. So don't know what happened with them, but their cell service is down this morning through AT&T and maybe some other maybe other providers also. I don't know. I didn't know what in the world was going on. Double check there. Oh, the bill paid? Yeah, the bill was paid. And so we didn't get cut off. Apparently, lots of folks are this problem is affecting them this morning through their AT&T cellular service and maybe other service providers also throughout the country. I don't know if it's just pockets of it or whatever the case may be. But as you were just talking, man, if a country wanted to invade us, just take down the cellular service throughout the country. I mean, I'm at the dentist yesterday, and I think half the people in there would have their phones out with their head stuck in it as they were waiting. So you don't pick up the magazines anymore. You open up your cell phone.
But what teenagers do, they'd go nuts.
They would have withdrawals. You see them shaking. You see them nervous.
24/7. They're at the dinner table with the phone. Can you put that thing down?
Yeah, well, yeah. So, with them, they would have withdrawals. I know some parents out there that the biggest punishment is to take away their mobile devices, electronic devices. You take that away from them, they do not know what to do. That's their existence, is being on that phone or on that game console or in the internet, whatever the case may be. That's their lives for a lot of them. And you take that away from them, and they don't know what to do. They get fidgety, they get agitated, and that kind of stuff. I'm just hearing this from parents out there who have kids these days.
I see with my nieces and nephews. I mean, they're just constantly on the phone.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in now.
That's we are attached to electronics, Bob. AI is taking over our brains, and we're not allowing it. We're just, all right, go right ahead. Oh, boy. All right, so what else is going on news-wise? Anything locally that you're keeping your eye on?
Well, I had a chance to talk to Mr. Wheat from the Union Station. I said that was the big story.
Union Station Brewing Company, concerning
food trucks is the big issue. That was the big discussion at the city council meeting on Tuesday. I understand there's a big crowd there to discuss it, but no decision was made. They're going to talk about their retreat. But you see these food trucks everywhere. But there is an ordinance,
don't you? There's food trucks here. There's food trucks there. There's food trucks everywhere.
I mean, the Chick-fil-A food trucks at the hospital parking lot a couple days a week, they have permission to do so. You see them at the farmers market. You see them. I mean, they're just everywhere. So it's something but apparently they have a food ordinance that they pay
they pay a fee and so forth. Is it not supposed to be on public property, on government-owned property, or what's that?
I don't really know. Like I said, no decision was made. But like I said, Mr. Wheat said that they said that it was affecting other businesses, but he talked to all those other businesses. They didn't have a problem, but now all of a sudden it's a problem. So something they got to deal with and decide what they're going to do. But like I said, they're everywhere. I mean, everywhere you go, you see food trucks. But I appreciate Mr. Wheat talking to me. Like I said, I was in Vidalia for the ball game, and it wasn't to be at the city meeting Tuesday, but I thought he did a good job explaining what it was funny. He said he had 7 pages. He said he didn't understand. He was limited. That's the policy. You're limited to 5 minutes to speak.
Well, you are, because someone could get up there and just take over. It's 5 minutes.
You'd be there all night.
Yeah, you'd be there all night.
That was the funny part. He said, I had 7 pages of notes.
Just email it to us. It's your city council.
That's what he says he's going to do. So
yeah,
but that was the big story of the city council meeting on Tuesday. Also, they've opened up the application process for a city manager, taking those up till March the 8th. But everybody knows the interim city manager, Nick Ellis, is interested in that job full time. So I would think he's the odds-on favorite to land that job. But time will tell. At least you're not paying $25,000 to a company that they're not going to listen to this time. So that's the good news. That's what they did last time.
What's that?
When you hadn't got a company that conducted the search and paid them $25,000 and didn't listen to who they.
Didn't listen to them. Paid all that money, didn't listen to them, didn't take their advice, and hired who they wanted to.
Now the radio says that's fine with me. Just give me my $25,000 check. I'll be on my way.
Y'all do what you want to do. I got some text messages in here. You can text in at 912-427-3711 anytime that you want to. That's our regular business line. Is text enabled. 912-427-3711. Someone text in that says the refs, is talking about the basketball game this past Friday night, Tuesday night, last Tuesday night. The refs failed to take control early in the game. GHSA needs better officials.
Well, I mean, that was the sentiment.
But the thing about it is, you have trouble getting officials right now.
Right. I mean, officials are hard to find in any sport. But that was the sentiment that Kayla Hawes told me when I talked to her Tuesday. She said it was a very physical, more than normal, and it was pushing and shoving, and girls were, chirping at one another, and nothing was being called. I mean, they were just letting the girl go up for a shot and get
maybe
and no
something
foul.
good will come out of this thing when the GHSA
and it just continued building until frustration built up, and somebody threw a punch, and once the punch was thrown, then all heck broke loose.
So you couldn't be contained to those two players. Other folks had to get involved.
But that text basically is what was said by both coaches. Both coaches felt that the officials let it kind of get out of hand physically. They could have called fouls, but there wasn't.
Or they could have just stopped and talked to both teams and said, stop that. You're going to get thrown out of the game.
You see the NBA all the time. They talk about, whether they always say let the players play. Saying, they don't want the game dictated by an official's call. Same thing in football. They talk about sometimes they call pass interference, sometimes they don't call pass interference. So it's just. But that was the sentiment from what I talked to Kayla that Tuesday night, that she's just felt that the game got out of hand physically by both teams, and nothing was being called by the officials. They were just letting them
no officials threw any punches.
The officials basically walked away because, and like I told people, I said, I understand why they walked away. They're male officials, and these are female basketball players. And nowadays, if they do something, you don't want to try to separate them or anything like that. If it had been boys, it might have been a little different. Yeah, once the fight broke out, they just walked off the court, so they were done.
Maybe the GHSA will say to officials now, if you start seeing this happen, just stop the game and talk to both teams and said, if I see you do it again, you're out of the game, and go talk to the coaches and maybe stop it at that time, because when it gets real physical like that, but when you got two players who are fighting, there's no reason for other players to get involved except for maybe try to pull them back and separate them and not fight themselves.
Let me save the trouble. GHSA is not going to do nothing about the officials.
Well, this is playoffs now, Bob.
It doesn't matter.
This is playoffs.
Forget it.
This is not regular season where they don't get involved.
It doesn't matter how bad they are, how blind they are, how idiot daughter they are. GHSA is not going to do nothing about their officials. Okay?
And that's Bob Morgan's opinion, that of Jesup Broadcasting.
That's watching 40 years.
We don't have that opinion.
That's watching 40 years of high school athletics.
That's Bob's opinion, not Jesup Broadcasting.
It's getting worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why they used to play three blind mice.
They used to play that at the games.
The colleges, Kansas, they used to in basketball games they would play. They had to stop that. But I remember those days. The calls were so bad they'd play three.
Well, someone texted in that said middle school golf match today at Pine Forest Country Club. The middle school golf match today at Pine Forest Country Club. Don't know what time, but they're going to be playing.
They've got a nice day for it, that's for sure.
Got a nice day for it. It's good things tomorrow. Hope the weather's going to be nice up in Atlanta tomorrow, because we got that baseball game up there, that baseball tournament, right? What time does that start tomorrow?
6 o'clock against Loganville. Going to be fun. This team would play for the state championship in 2017. So Loganville's got an excellent baseball program. They've always got good pitching, so should be a fun ball game. Like I said, 3 good games. They play Loganville at 6, and then on Saturday they come back and play at 10 o'clock against Winter Haven, Florida, and then they play Hillgrove at 3 o'clock on Saturday. So there's 3 games this weekend at the Georgia Dugout Classic. All kinds of teams up there, different brackets. So Wayne County's in the best bracket with the best teams up there, so
Okay.
it should be a good competition.
You
Looking
play
forward
that
to
good
it.
competition, it makes you better.
Both middle school baseball teams are in action day. Arthur Williams got a game at Billmore's Park against Brantley. That should be a good matchup. I think that gets underway at 5 o'clock. So
Okay. The middle school golf match today at Pine Forest Country Club will begin at 3:30.
3:30.
Okay. Well, Bob, we're out of time. Anything else on your mind before we head out of here?
Just have a good day.
All right. We're old famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Vans Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.